So yeah, that was another thing that kind of struck me as, man, this dude is naive. Like this dude reminds me of the whole debate between a lieutenant fresh out of the academy, fresh out of college, versus an NCO who's been fighting the war for, who came up from being a private to an NCO, whereas the lieutenant was just given his rank of, well, given, that's not fair, but a lieutenant is a lieutenant is a lieutenant a lieutenant commands in theory, and NCO commands by experience. And it's a very big debate in every military. What's more important? They're both important. The lieutenant has a college degree and went to an academy, so he's better at commanding a bigger unit, whereas the NCO's commander better at commanding small units and making sure the lieutenants don't do anything stupid. Whereas the lieutenants can relay messages to command and just let the NCOs do what they want. And we'll bring them in. And that's what really boils down to think before you sleep. He's been around the world. He has a college degree. He's older than me, and yet he's more naive than me. I'm trying to think of a better word for it. I'm trying to think of a more nicer way to say it, but he is just a more naive person than I am. He works in theory, I work in practice. I gain experience, I have gained experience my entire life doing things, talking to people, and yet this guy watches a bunch of reality TV and whatever. Be uncharitable. And not even a lot of YouTube. Like, he watches some YouTube, he watches some top YouTube creators that are bigger than him. I could be wrong, but I don't think he watches anyone smaller than him. I don't know how common that is, but in my sectors of the internets, of YouTube, it's not that common for people to punch down, for people to only punch up anymore. That used to be common in every part of YouTube. There's people punching up, people wanting to collaborate with people above them when they were below. But now, with the modern YouTubers that have only been YouTubers for less than 3 years, they have been punching down. They have been reaching down and hosting the smaller YouTubers up. Because for like they don't understand what it's like to go against these giants. People who've been on the platform since the beginning, and then people that have been on there since the second and third and fourth wave. I'm on like I'm from the third or fourth wave. But again, this guy just doesn't strike me as experienced. I'm sorry, but I just yeah. Like one reason I want to make this video is because I just want to. I've just been thinking about this, and it's just that it's a fact that I'm experienced now. I'm not a wet behind the ears lieutenant. I'm a hardened leader now. I've done things, unbelievable things that people won't believe I have done. Why not? You might not be convinced I have a girlfriend, but I've done things. I'm experienced. I'm not saying I'm better than him. I'm not saying that. You don't have to trust me. But it's just that he's naive and inexperienced. And it's not a bad thing. I mean, it strikes me as confident when delivering these points that I was saying earlier? Should he really be this confident? But yeah, I mean, I don't think I have anything more to talk about. I can't remember what I was talking about earlier. Please let me know in the comments what I was going to say earlier. Well, I'm going. Well, link me a part of the video where I was talking about that. Talking about something coming. Talking about something I want to talk about later. But I think where you sleep is interesting. He is. I believe he is honest and a good man, but in his own words, honesty does not mean truth. Does not mean fact. He does his research, but he doesn't do enough. Or he doesn't know how to research enough. Or he doesn't know how to research it the correct way. Again, I don't know him. I've only watched a dozen of his videos. So take that as you will. You can watch his videos as well. Link in the description to his channel. Because I do like this guy. I enjoy his content. He makes really, really good points. They're very well constructed and they're good points. He says he learns from criticism, so I hope he takes what I said here to heart. And what is my point? What is the main takeaway here? I wanted to take away from this video if he watches it. He might, he may not, he might, who knows. But the main takeaway I want him to have is this. Okay, I'm thinking. I just want him to be more open-minded. To understand that he very much does not know everything. I don't know everything. There are things I learned from him. Like the bank situation in Japan, I didn't know that. With the debit cash card thing, I didn't know that. But yeah. And there are things I do agree with, and there are things I do agree with, like his main point, one of his main points in the channel is that they, whoever they are trying to tear this country apart, so they are trying to divide this country so they can conquer it. Tear it apart, rebuild it. Because they, mostly authoritarians period, in its story, authoritarians want this country to be authoritarian too, because that's the norm in the world is. They want their land back that they took 2 centuries ago, that, with help from my family, we took it from them, and made it our own. So yeah. Alright, I think we're up with the video now. It's going to be over an hour long. But yeah, and again, I didn't show my face because I'm trying to relax and wear this cold. But anyway. Yeah, I really do like this guy. I do enjoy his content, but oh my word, does he make dumb statements. That's not even started on the fact that he thinks that Jeff Ramsey's word is gospel. Like, oh, you must do the claw grip when chopping vegetables, or you must chop it at 99 miles an hour. Exactly. So you can get finished with vegetables in a day. Oh, there's one more thing I need to talk about. There's one. more thing we need to talk about. Giving on this little rant, like, for some reason, he believes that going on to the last part of this video, if I didn't chop it up already. But he's a traditional familyist or nuclear. He believes in the nuclear family or whatever it was. He believes in the 1960s. He believes the 1960s was peak family in America. He forgets it wasn't in every family. That was just the sitcoms, for the most part. Yes, I guess the statistics were everyone was happier, but everyone, including the people under Jim Crow, including people who were bused like my mom, and also African Americans like them. The rampant racism in the country? To everyone? That was better? I mean, yes, I do like the 1960s aesthetic, and I do like that time period, and just general. But, nuclear family wasn't ideal. As much as an ideal as having, a family of four, what can picket fence in a suburb. With a car and everything. The Simpsons. Not everyone had that. Again, do your own research. Watch his videos. Because I'm not going to provide you with anything. And you shouldn't trust me based on my word unless you want to. I mean, and you should only want to if you watch hours upon hours of my content and listen to me. You know how I stand, and done your own research. But this guy, oh boy, this guy. This is the big one. He very much just values the modern family, and very much values the. Ooh, do I use this word? You know me, I'm going to use it. The fascist ideal of the classical family. Classic gender roles and everything. Now, I don't think this guy is fascist. He might be. He might be fascist because he's because he's a traditional family. He's very traditional family. He's very traditional family, and he's very, there's another one. But, yeah, he's very traditional family, and he's very pro-man. To be fascist, you need to be very pro-something, and you need to be a traditionalist, basically. You don't necessarily need to be a monarchist. Like, an American fascist might not be a monarchist. For example, American fascist in 2021, which is, he's only a few years older than me, I would suppose. A few years older, maybe a decade, but if he was a fascist, he would be an American fascist who would be a liberal. Oh my word, did I just compare this, like, ultra-conservative guy to a liberal? He's not conservative. I mean, yes, he is conservative. Yeah, he is very conservative. But he is also a liberal because he believes in freedom of speech, he believes in America. He's not a nationalist. He is a patriot. I think. He might not be a patriot. I'm a patriot. I don't think he's a patriot. He believes in this country, at least. Next to worship the American ideal. Well, America should be. I worship. Not what America is, what it should be. But yeah. So, enough of that. I'm not saying he is fascist or not. But he gives off, if he's not fascist, he's awfully close. Again, fascist is not a bad thing unless you do bad things because of it. Like, a Nazi will always be a bad thing because they are racist. They are racist. They are racist. In order to be a Nazi, you must be racist. In very different story. That's how the Nazis are. In order to be a Spanish fascist, you gotta be a monarchist. In order to be a Mussolinian, you have to be a socialist. Or whatever Mussolini was. But to be a fascist, you just need to believe in something really badly and be traditional. And one other thing which I'm forgetting, which I think he is that too. But anyway, under the purest definition of fascist, by the way. And I said that for YouTube, but hopefully they don't demonetize this. I hope not. But this guy, I do believe he's a good man. I do believe he is a good American, and I do believe he believes in this country, and I do believe he believes in our values. I do believe he believes in democracy and all the good stuff. Because he said so. He said all of this. So yeah. Much like a socialist in Europe is pro-democracy, supposedly. Much like a socialist in Europe is pro-democracy, again, supposedly. And a communist isn't most of the time. But anyway. So, oh boy, I think he misunderstands what generals actually mean. I think he misunderstands I think he misunderstands his own argument and why it's stupid. For example, he believes in traditional gender roles. Men in the garage, women in the kitchen. For example. Me and Lucy, it's me in the garage, me in the kitchen. Her bringing those paychecks. Making them angels, so we making those angels on a mission. Doing that work. When I try to build up my channel because I'm not a very good capitalist. Apparently. But yeah, and that goes against his view. I'm not a modern family either. A modern family is weird. I don't think you can have a modern family that's functional. It's functional. I could be wrong. Might not. But likewise, it's 21st century. Gender roles need to go bye-bye. We don't need them anymore. We can have ideals like Chad, for example, like the big masculine alpha male Chad ideal that they came up with. That's positive. But saying a man needs to go into the garage and a woman needs to go in the kitchen is stupid. Now, his argument is stupid, but I'm going to tell you it. This guy believes, again, this guy right here, Think Before You Sleep, he believes that you can't have two working parents in the same family and have good children. Lol, what? You've been talking to someone who's been raised in that kind of household. It wasn't modern. It wasn't traditional. It worked. My dad and mom both worked when me and my sister were young. My mom took out maternity leave, which is required in this country. Although I'm not quite sure me and Lucy are going to deal with it. But anyway, we'll come back. We'll cross that bridge when we cross it. You have to have maturity in this country. He says that you must. The mom must be with the child until age 5. Like, does this man believe in preschool? Preschool is actually a really good thing. It helps people succeed in elementary school and then in life. Oh, preschool's a good thing. And preschools are pretty much daycare with extra steps. I was preschool, and I was in daycare before that. I turned out fine. I can go over my list of accomplishments, but I don't need to. You're on my channel, and you can look in the description. Like, seriously, go to my Green&Blue public Google thing, Google Drive, and look at all the stuff I make. Go to my Deviant Art, look at all the stuff I make. Go to my YouTube, look at all the stuff I make. Did I turn out okay? Look at the fact that I do calculus on a semi-regular basis with aerospace engineering. I didn't go to college. I have to use online calculators because I'm autistic. But I can do it. I understand how that works. I turned out okay. I know saying yourself. I know it sounds a bit rich when you say it out loud, but like, he needs to hear it. And I know he's probably gonna say, "Oh, how dare you speak this way? This is a sign of an abuser or whatever." Okay, that was being a bit rude, but still. There's another thing which we're gonna talk about too. I'm probably partisan too, I guess. But this guy, in his perfect world, men would work, women would stay home and raise the kids. The heck can I do that? The heck is that gonna work with us? Now, when I first met Lucy, she made a pledge. It's gonna make a lot more sense when I explain our full backstory later on when we actually meet. But until now, just remember this. When me and Lucy met, she made a pledge that if she needed to go out and get a real job, much to what I will learn later, and which I already told you today, or in the last video, if she had to go out and get a real job instead of doing her Deviant Art, she would. I can't do that. If I don't get on disability in SSI, I will literally die before I can do that. Because I am not disabled. I just can't. I can barely do YouTube. I can, in fact, barely function as an adult. I could probably told you this earlier, but I can barely function. I have experience, but I'm not an alpha. I'm not a sigma. I don't function as an adult very well, as a human maintaining adult. I can do my creative pursuits. I can help my family out. I have a girlfriend. Me and Lucy love each other very much. But I absolutely cannot work. It's something I have come to terms to. If I don't have the health insurance because I can't work, if I can't get SSI for some dumb reason, I already failed the first bit, but everyone fails the first bit. That's fine. That's just reading the cheat. That's just for emergency cases only, or whatever. I would literally die. A slow, painful death. As Crohn's just eats up my eats up my entire intestines, and things go very badly. Something I can't really say on YouTube, but it would be bad. The autism won't kill me. However, the autism is the reason why I can't get a job, because I can't count cash. I literally can't count cash. I don't know my multiplication tables. I can't learn them. I need a calculator. I can work a calculator. I can work online I can find and locate and learn like 1,000 online calculators in order to do one thing, but I can't do math on the fly. It's my autism. I can't. I have a 75 IQ for a very good reason. It's not I'm unintelligent. It's I can't do math or do writing instantly on the fly. I can't. Want me to write a legal document? I can't. It won't work. I need an editor. Well, my flaw in my novels is I need an editor badly. It takes me a long time to edit, and I suck at it. That's my major flaw with my work. My major flaw with my written work. I need an editor. If you see any of my titles recently or any of my descriptions, you know I make typos and make dumb mistakes that I should catch, but I can't because I just can't. So I would be dead. And another thing which I want to talk about later. But I would be dead if it wasn't for the grace of this family. I was born into. I would be dead. You know why I know that? Because if my mom and my dad stopped trying to have me, I would be dead. And I don't. And it's. Oh no! It's far worse than. It's far worse than you think. I was born 9 years late, and 9 years late and 2 weeks early. How is that possible, you might be wondering? I couldn't be conceived until they kept trying. But for whatever reason, I could not be conceived until 9 years later. Until 9 years after they started trying. I was born a blue baby. That was instant death until the 1960s or so. I have Crohn's. That was instant death until like a decade ago. If I was born British, I would be dead because I wouldn't have Remicade. Because I didn't get anything like Remicade until much later. Because they're cheapskates with their NHS. I think everyone knows that. And this guy, what really gets me is, he doesn't understand the concept of love. When he thinks about gender roles and how a man must work and how a woman must take care of the house and the children, the men must work and the woman take care of the children. And when he says, if you are both equals, how can you stay together? And I'm like, have you never been loved before? Have you never had a parent? Have you never had a sibling? Have you never had a relationship with another human being? Like, have you never had a bromance? I have a bromance. Well, I mean, I guess it's embarrassing to say, but I have a bromance with Jax. We're best friends. We've been best friends since we're like 5 months old. I'm not kidding. We were friends since we were 5 months old. Me and Jax. I doubt this guy's even like that in his life. My Lucy, we love each other because we love each other. We don't care what each other has for us in store. We don't care what we look like to each other, or vice versa. We happen to like how each other looks, but that's a happenstance. Like, literally, this guy, the Think Before You Sleep, does not understand how love works. He thinks that you must enter a negotiation in a relationship, and you must have a fair trade. If man works, woman must stay home. Woman cannot work when a man works. He does leave open the possibility of a stay-at-home dads, but he never says it. He has not once said that a stay-at-home dad can exist in his ideal world. And based on other things he said, probably because he thinks mothers are flat out better at taking care of children than dads. Is this true? Probably, yeah. But I'm not going to tell a stay-at-home dad that. It's probably just going to be just as good. Or just as fine. Maybe not perfect, but fine. It'll be fine. My grandmother and my grandfather raised my father when they were both working, when they were both in the Navy. Yeah, you can do that. In his world, he doesn't understand. He probably doesn't understand. He probably doesn't understand military life. Let's be honest. But if he did, he wouldn't understand how two military people can raise a child together. But literally, my grandparents did. They didn't. Well, my grandmother decided to stay at home eventually. But like, she's lazy. She's a homebody. Where do you think I get it from? And also, there's all of my many conditions, but besides that. And why do you think my father gets it from? He's been retired since the Great Recession, because people don't hire old men. They just don't. For some reason. I don't know why. But I never got hired. Despite trying. It basically became retired after that. My mom died working. She died on her feet. She died working. And is there some animosity between me and this guy about that fact? I would want to say yes, but it's not that bad. I don't blame him for anything like that, but it's just he makes really dumb statements. But I never said anything really that bad. He just makes dumb statements. But, like, I don't get where this guy gets it. Like, has he never been loved before? Does he not understand the concept? He never says it in his videos. If anything, he implies that love is just a trap. Don't go into a relationship if it's just about love. However, when he skates that line, when he talks in that territory, whatever it is, it's mostly about attraction via physical traits. Like, on the internet, you don't have that. Unless you talk about Tinder, which we don't do that here. Like, my sister met her boyfriend because for friends simply wanting to see if they would be a good couple. And that's it. They didn't know each other. It's a long distance relationship. It doesn't matter. We're in the internet age. We have science on our side. Technology. The internets. Think Before You Sleep is a bit of a Luddite. He doesn't seem to understand the concept of the internet. Yet he's a more successful channel than me. I probably should feel embarrassed about that. And I know he understands some concepts of the internet, like, research things, but I don't think he understands relationships on the internet. He thinks that go out to a bar or wherever. Well, I mean, to be honest, he says gyms and whatever, gyms and parks. Gym, parks, hobbies, whatever. He doesn't actually, he never said bar. But let's be honest, if you come from the internet, you know this type of person who says, go on, you can't meet someone until you go out to a bar. Which is not how we do things in America anymore. And there are people that do it in America, but they don't have good relationships. Not that my parents would be the ones talking, because they met in a nightclub, although they were both on blind dates with other people that failed, and then they met each other. And the story, and they met each other, and basically my mom saved my dad from a blind date. Yeah, that happens. That happened. That was in the 80s. That was in 70s, 80s, somewhere. But yeah, I mean, like, me and Lucy are together because we love each other. There is no hook. There is no anything. We love each other. Like, we talked, we fell in love, did a story. That is it. No more. No less. This man believes, I think before he believes, you must be the most skilled artist in attraction in order to catch a woman. And then when you catch her, you must trade with her, bargain, come into a negotiation with her. It will be a duel of fates. You'll be two grand powers dueling it out for supremacy. But you must be fair, you must be balanced, and you must have fair trades. If the woman wants to stay home and raise the kids, you must work, and vice versa. Me and Lucy are both work from home. In the same home, in fact, if I move when she gets here, we'll probably get a love seat with some of her savings, and she's been saving up just for us. Just make the transition a little bit easier, because my room is not exactly set up for two people, not exactly set up for this. I think we can fit on this one bed. We're both not the most wide of peoples. I think we can fit on a twin bed. I think that's possible. But anyway. So, get a love seat like my chair I have right now, like my lazy boy chair that can recline separately and everything. So she can work, and we can hang out right next to each other. Much like the Starship Enterprise. And we work next to each other and just be together. That's all we wanted, just to be together. Just to be together. There's a reason why we haven't met yet. There's a reason why, again, you can't find our Deviant Art. You can try, but you can't find it. If I can't find it, you can't find it. But, you'll never get a reason for this. And I'll tell you that when the time is right. But, like, in his negotiation of fates, in his massive duel a man and woman must commit in order to come out as equals in marriage negotiations. Like, so, I'm gonna cook when we're not eating out. Well, I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna cook. We're gonna get delivery a lot of times because we want to be together. Um, and because I can't cook all the time because it makes me nauseous. Yes, food makes me nauseous. Everything makes me nauseous. This cold made me nauseous. And another reason why I can't work because I'm nauseous all the time. Me working at a restaurant would be terrible. Oh, that'd be horror. That'd be true horror. But like right now, in her daily life, she goes out to eat and comes back with it in her room and eats it. Her current amount of cooking is reheating frozen pancakes and maybe drizzling some syrup on them and maybe some butter. That's it. That's the extent of her cooking knowledge. I can smoke like turkeys and stuff, and I can make orange juice, and I can cook on stove, and I can bake. I can do things. I can learn more. Cooking is not hard. Like, I learned it in less than a year. I learned all of these skills I have currently in less than a year. I can make a pizza from scratch. Yeah, I can do things. I can cook. In this man's world, the man does not cook, the woman cooks. Like, well, what? Are you smoking? What are you smoking? Because I kind of want that too. Like, my very situation is antithetical to his entire thesis. It's an impossibility. Like, how can two people work and stay at home? That is literally impossible. Now, kids are going to be interesting because our hours are so funky. Her hours are more normal, but that leads us to that starts tearing apart the whole one. That's starting to be friction on the whole staying together, on the whole wanting to always be together. So we always try to fix our sleep schedule so they're always near each other. They don't always work. Like, we're up right now and I'm texting her and whatever as I do this. Um, officially. But, yeah. Like, he never thought of this. He never thought that in 2021, when most people started working at home for once in an eternity, after decades of people working on YouTube who never ever meet each other, like, people can work at home, raise kids, and like be together 24/7 and not hate each other. This is impossible. Or at least I imagine that would be his reaction, based on what he says. I really don't know what he would think. I really want to talk to him about this because I really don't know what he would think. Think before he sleeps. It's kind of what I'm doing right now. Think before you sleep. Like, what would you think? So yeah, like me and Lucy, to an extent, my parents, my grandparents, and my sister and her boyfriend. Like, we are all not a modern. We are all not a modern family. We're not a traditional family. We are impossible. Like, yeah. Um. Anything else? Uh. Anything else? Um. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to relax. But I'll probably make a part 2 of this. Or part 3 or whatever. I can't remember what I was gonna say. Last few times, so I'm sorry. But like, yeah. I guess that's it in this video. Thanks for watching. I just. Oh, yeah, one last thing. I remembered it. Yeah, he says if someone tells you. If someone's. If someone. Let me use it in the sentence. I like your content, think before you sleep, but you're naive and you're inexperienced. He literally thinks I'm a huge dirtbag now. Because I use but. And I started with a compliment. And then I laid on the thickness. Like, bruh. That's how you talk on YouTube. If you pile on the heaviness at the beginning of the video, if you criticize at the beginning, if you complain at the beginning, and then give advice at the end, that's what you do. That's how you YouTube. That's how YouTube works. Albeit, like, that's where it's coming from me, because I don't have all the subscribers. But I have 9 years on this platform. I don't know how long he's been on the platform, but I have 9 years on this platform, and dealings with game developers who sent me review keys, and I've been honest, and for the majority, have been really good and changed, and I helped them, um, and helped them with their game development, and yeah, most people are appreciative. Most people IRL and most people on the internet, at least. Okay, let's be honest. Most people on the internet, at least, are appreciative if you lead with compliments and end with criticism. Like, yeah, people want to be buttered up first, and then you people want to take people want you to sugarcoat it. Some people might not. This guy might not. But that's just how I was raised by my mom. To sugarcoat it. Say something sweet to begin with. Like, I like his content. I will continue watching it. Unless he really does something weird. Unless he doesn't. Again, he hates that. He hates literally what I just did. Start with a compliment and then do something else. He hates that. Like, there was a video where he really didn't like it. He didn't rage or anything, but I didn't like it. He didn't like when people did that. He says they were jerks. And like, do you live in IRL? Do you live in reality? Do you live on the internets? Because that's what people want. as someone that lives literally on the grace of others, on generosity, like, literally, I have to be nice. I cannot be a dirtbag. If I was a dirtbag, I would be dead. I got a girlfriend because I'm a nice person. My channel's been just chugging along for all this time because I'm a nice person. All my friends I have currently, I got when I was younger. And we always come back to each other. Because we're good people. There was a time when Jax and I never talked to each other for years. In fact, until we found each other back on Xbox Live. I mean, it wasn't hard. Like, we were on the same. We never. We never not been on each other's friend list. But like on Xbox. Oh no! Oh, yeah, just the computer went to sleep. That scared me. Be right back. Okay, that's not good. Okay, but we didn't break anything. But like literally, there was a time period where me and Jax fell out of a relationship, being friends, of course, and then we got back into it. That's what friends do. I don't know what this guy's friendships are like, but that's what friends do. Friends come back to each other if we can. That's why I find it hard to believe that if you dated a woman and you broke up with her, you would hate her. Like, why? Why? Like, why? If you liked each other enough to be together for a time period, why do you hate each other? When you mutually break it off, why can't you be friends? That is stupid. That's not human. No, that's not how I believe humans act. That's not how I believe. That's not my human ideal. That's not how I believe adult people should act. Kids, sure. Teenagers, sure. Adults, no. Especially if they have kids. Oh, and there's another thing. Let me get this one done before I bring it up. My cold. Like, he seriously believes it will always be the woman's fault if they have a child. He thinks for some reason. He may not know how childs are born. He may not know that. He honestly may not know that. I'm kidding, of course, but no, that's stupid. Like he assumes that she's on the pill. She lied to you. We're like, what? What? Why are you assuming the pill's 100% effective? Why? It's not. It's like 90. It's like 95, 94. I mean that he did that video in like 2019, 2020. He said that then, but we know in 2021 that even with Pfizer, the first vaccine, the second vaccine, and a booster, so you're 95 or better covered for the death. Guess what? There are people getting the death. They're not dying from it, but they're getting it. 95%, that 5% or 3% I think it is for birth control. No. No. It's also the man's fault. There's a very good reason religion has taught you all of your life, all of your parents' life, all of your grandparents' life, all of your great-grandparents until 3,000 years ago taught you never never to sleep with a woman until you are married. Because that is the only way not to have kids. Yet he's literally saying, if you do that, it's not your fault, man. It is the woman's fault. That's again blaming all women. Because apparently all women will always lie to you about their birth control. Every single time. Yet you should still sleep with them, but you should still sleep with them, but like they will lie to you. Why would that's stupid logic. That's a cycle of stupidity. And I apologize for using those strong words, but I don't got a better one right now. So, like, seriously. I guess I'm just gonna wrap this part up. But like, because it's not really like kind of content like having on this channel. But like, if you sleep with a woman, there is a risk of having children, and then there is a risk of them not aborting those children, and then there is a risk of you having to pay child support if you're dead. If you don't man up and be a man and stay with that woman to raise the kids that you had with her. He is suggesting that men be boys and run away from relationships if the woman had kids and you didn't realize that because you weren't an idiot and slept with her. Like, are you like 11, 12? Because aren't kids taught at 13 about what happens when two men and women get together at night in the same bed? Don't you know that? Aren't you taught that in school? I was sick on that day, so I wanted now my Lucy knows. Lucy wasn't sick on that day. But seriously, what kind of man-child are you? You're not even a man-child, you're just a child. If you think that it is solely the woman's responsibility, it's solely the woman's if you think it's solely the woman's responsibility to have children, that's probably why you don't think it's your it's probably why you don't think that you never have responsibility for the child because you believe that it's their sole responsibility. Therefore, you were never responsible. That's not being fair to men. That's calling them boys. Don't do that. You don't call good men boys. You call them good men. You call them gentlemen. It's a good thing when a man stays with a woman who isn't abusive, by the way. And there is no stipulation in anything he says that, it's always going to be an abusive relationship. I'm pretty sure he assumes that, but he never says it out loud that only do this if it's abusive or whatever. But we live in a time and place where it's commonplace to get a divorce because your relationship was a fad. You just got bored. Like, what? You have kids? You have 4 kids and 2 on the way, and you're divorcing, and you're divorced. And you're going to get a divorce. Because you decided not to like each other that day. That's what celebrities do. That's not what real people do. Or should, anyway. And this guy also believes in culture. The one thing I was missing, he believes in culture. He believes in the culture of our ancestors. They were so smart and they were so generous to give us our laws, our democracy, our free speech. Yet apparently he forgets our ancestors also told us not to sleep with someone until you're married. And be a man. And be a man if you don't. I had one or two YouTubers be a man and do it. And get married after they had kids. One or two YouTubers I watched get married after they had kids when they done messed up. I think what it comes down to. By the way, I'm tired. I need to sleep. I need to get this video where I need to upload. Not the night of recording. I need to upload something that my sister made. A video that my sister made. But yeah, that's it for me. That's it for this video right now. I'll be back. I'm going to watch more content. He's a good creator. He's just makes dumb statements. I think we'll be titling these videos my thoughts on Think Before You Sleep. Because that's what they are. And they try to fit more catchy things in the title, but well. It'll come down to oh yeah, this guy also does clickbait. I don't like that. There are several videos that make absolutely no sense when you click on when you match the title to the thumbnail and only at the very end do they actually make sense. It's not. It's weird. Some are more clickbaitier than others, but some are. It's weird. But he's definitely a clickbaiter. Not a legit clickbaiter. Like not someone that blatantly lies. It's just that he sucks at titling things. Yet he's a bigger channel than me. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's really what should be to say, but oh well. Alright, well, that being for this video, thanks for watching. I appreciate watching this video. It means a lot to me. Actually, here, by the way. That means a lot to me. It also means a lot to me if you check out the rest of the stuff in the description below, such as various sports channels. Of course, various sports channels by watching these videos and get your content reviews by sharing friends from this day. Alright, have a good day. Thanks for watching, and it's here. And I guess, see you in a second.